Every one of you watching this screen, look out.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
What did I tell you about cartoons?
They've got a lot of brains, and they've got a lot of chutzpah.
Tell me how comic books make you feel, Dave.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Hi everybody, this is Jim Bridges and I'm the President and Founder of the Australian Cartoon Museum, and today we're going to do The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. And this is a very big book, but it's got stacks of stuff in it, and I brought my sons in because I don't play the game, I don't like the game, I don't like playing games, I like looking at pictures. But these two guys, Paul and Robert, my sons, are here today and they're going to go through it. So, and I'll just interfere every so often as fathers do, alright? So, we'll turn the page. Nice end papers. Why are they like this? Is that a map?
That is the map of the land.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You've got the different regions, Macluda, Farron, Central Hyrule in the middle.
Okay. What's this?
That is, I think it's a symbol of the Sheikah, I believe.
What's the Sheikah?
They're like a tribe of people that work closely with the royal family.
Why do we have to open our eyes? Whoa, illustrations.
We open our eyes at the start of the game. You actually are awoken from a century-long slumber from memory.
Oh, okay. He's had a Dragon Ball Z. Or he's got the backside of a fish for his head, you know.
A bit of Giga there as well.
So who's Zelda?
He's the princess.
Okay, and who's this?
That's Link. He's the hero. He's the main character you always play as in Zelda games.
And he's always trying to capture her or set her free?
He's trying to save her because she's usually in trouble, in captivity.
Well, this is heroic art. It's different to animation. Like, you don't really have scenes like that in animation, do you? Although it's cinematic, isn't it?
Yes, very much so.
And so what's this? Is this where she is, down here?
That's right. That's the castle in the centre of the land.
That scene's really good because, well, after you've spent about 5-10 minutes into the game, you do arrive at this sort of Lion King type plateau where you get to see virtually the entire world before you.
Okay.
And there's a bit of a musical score which coincides with
dramatic.
This moment. Yeah, which really sort of introduces you to the world.
So is the art as good as this in the game?
Well, no. This is a painting.
Yeah, I know. It's just...
So the art in the game, it emulates this with computer cel-shaded type.
But Zelda's got high definition art in it, has it?
Yeah, it's a HD game, if that's what you mean.
Okay, high definition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very detailed.
What's so great about this?
That would be the hero's sword, the master sword. So that's the main character from one of the first, if not the first Zelda game from was it the late 80s?
So it's passing the sword on to the new character.
That's right, because it's always the same character and all the stories are connected. It spans over many thousands of years.
Okay.
So,
and is that Zelda?
Yes. So Link, there's called a Triforce. He is the Triforce of courage. She holds the Triforce of wisdom.
Okay.
And then there's a third character, this entity here.
Yeah. Looks like a bad guy.
The Calamity Ganon. He's the Triforce of power. So these three beings they're sort of destined to tangle.
The triptych.
Over and over and over and over.
Okay. He's the bad guy, is he?
Yeah, in this game he's the bad guy.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's more of like a spirit energy.
Pick on your own size.
The Lionel.
Yeah.
He's a bad boy, that one.
Okay. And
Champions of Hyrule.
So is it a game where you just fight?
There's a lot of fighting in it, yeah, because you'll be walking around the field.
Yeah, but you don't.
But
you don't have weapons. You don't choose weapons and all that sort of stuff. See, this is.
No, you totally do.
So no, but
you find them.
So only a person of good spirit can pull that out of the ground. Is it? That's the Arturian legend.
Yeah, well, you get
sword in the stone.
Once you increase your abilities, you attain the strength to be able to pull this out.
Oh, okay. And is that the sword he pulls out?
Yeah, the hero sword.
This is like Miyazaki.
That was a massive inspiration for this game.
Okay.
Huge inspiration.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
good. Good. My bias towards games might change.
Well, when you play this game, it's just a pleasure and almost a relaxing experience to just be in this world. Whether you decide to fight, whether you decide to cook, or just explore.
I love cooking in this game.
Yeah, it's
Cooking?
just a really it's a
Okay.
really pleasant and peaceful place to.
So
to
it's
be.
not based on getting killed all the time, which is one of the things I don't like about games.
Well,
It's all-
it's still a kill or get killed type game, but you can do a lot of things without having to.
But if you're
fight
cooking,
anyone at all.
but if you, so like cooking, for instance.
Yeah.
Development.
Yeah, and you get to experiment with what sort of foods give you certain abilities.
I'm just amazed at like the scope of this book. It sort of leaves animation books for dead, and yet this is just a game. It looks like there's more drawing gone into this and more design gone into this than any animated film I've come across.
Well, once you've played the game and put the sort of hours that Rob and myself have into this, it's no surprise when you see this book as thick and as heavy as it is, because it's a monstrous world.
So she's a modern heroine, is she? She's sexy and tough and you know.
And wise.
Oh yeah.
She's wise.
So this guy's not trying to hit on her. The other guy's not trying to hit on her.
Trying to take a cower, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's usually the common theme in the games.
Stop looking at the big. This is where the action is, right? Now who's this about? Oh, that's Calamity.
Yeah, the Calamity Ganon.
Now what the hell is he?
He's an evil spirit that takes many forms, most commonly the giant boar.
Oh yeah.
So when you face...
Combination of a bull and a yeah.
This is his final form in the game. When you face him, you're on horseback and you're about this big.
There's a bit of Princess Mononoke in that picture.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's obviously Japanese.
Yeah.
And how original is it? Like, it doesn't pinch things from everything else, does it? Like,
It sort of pinches from itself. I mean, Zelda's been around for, 25
no, but
years
it
or
doesn't
something?
pinch stuff from Lord of the Rings and all that sort of stuff, like all these games do.
It definitely would, here and there.
Yeah.
All these different characters.
That's an interesting character.
These are like the chiefs of the different races in the land.
Oh, okay. Has this got any, is there any connection between this and Game of Thrones?
Not really, no.
Okay.
They're not. I mean, I'm sure some people that worked on the game and wrote the story probably read those books, perhaps.
Okay.
You had about 300 plus people working on this game. It took them about 5 years to make.
A game takes 5 years to make.
Well, a Zelda one typically does.
Wow.
Because they're
Like-
huge.
So how many games have there been?
I think, there's probably been upwards of 25, 30.
And they take 5 years each.
Well, they've released games.
Some
for
less than others.
They've got the handheld versions of the games as
Ah,
well, so it's
okay.
probably considering all those handheld versions, the mobile versions.
Yep.
But they don't often do sequels.
Can you get me that chair, please? The old man ain't what he used to be.
Yeah, this is the latest.
My head keeps hitting the camera. I don't know.
This is the latest main sort of Zelda entry in the home console, and it's the first one to that. Yeah, it's going to get a sequel. They're doing a sequel to it, which is
So he's a fishy character?
Yep.
With a whole fish on his head.
They're from Zora's Domain. All the different characters in that world have different designs, but they're all sort
So
of
the
quite-
cities don't fight each other? They're not like warring?
No.
It's just that this character goes through, these three characters sort of go through all these landscapes, these different places.
Well, the main character, Link, who you play as, travels the whole land, meeting everyone, helping everyone with all sorts of different problems to try and help them take back the land from the Calamity Ganon.
And that's a typical male, is it? So a lot of birds and fish.
Yeah, they live in like big huts high up in the sky in the northern regions of the land.
Like Tibet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Exactly like Tibet.
But there's not too many wise people. Only her.
There's a lot of wise people. The proud women of the desert, the Gerudo. It's a race of all females.
Okay.
I think they have one male born every 1,000 years, and that male tends to be Ganon.
So how do they do they live long ages? Do they?
I believe so. Yeah, a lot of them live
Got
up.
natural childbearing hips here.
In the game, you actually have.
Oh, these are the cooking ones, are they?
Well, you have to dress as a woman to be able to have access to their city.
Yeah, so
They
you got
won't
to
let you in.
You got to find someone who'll sell you the clothes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so that's interesting. So it's like you'll have to explain all this stuff because I've got no idea. Like, it's like when you go over to Arab countries. If you're a woman, you have to put things on your
You'll
head.
be here for 10 hours trying to explain
Spirits of the
how
land.
intricate the game is.
This is a spirit that is hidden away in the world that has the ability to bring health to your steed, to your horse, and can bring it back from the dead.
Dragon Ball Z. Sorry,
I don't think I ever used that.
That's that reminds me of Princess Mononoke. Oh yeah, well, now this looks slightly Disney.
Yeah,
It is Disney-ish.
Several great fairies. They empty your wallet, so you got to give them lots of money, and they'll give you,
Is it a sexist?
upgrades.
Do you think it's a sexist game?
Nah.
That looks sort of slightly like a vagina.
James
Yeah.
Cameron probably wouldn't have made a game like this because the girl Zelda, she needs to be saved. Link is always the hero saving.
But that's big. And this is almost like from
Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You'll notice though that quite often they came up with one sort of character design and then just altered it depending on which region it's from.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got all these different types of
Summer,
Lionels
winter,
there.
autumn, and spring.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this guy's one of the toughest foes in the game, or at least I thought so. Rob had no problem with him.
They're definitely
battle
the
scarred.
toughest that you'll bump into out in the field. They can kill you with one hit.
Oh, they even showed the skeletons. Why
there's-
would they do that?
There's a skeleton, an all-skeleton version of that guy
Yep.
running around.
There's all skeleton versions of almost all of
Oh,
the
okay.
goblins and things you
So
run into.
they're really minded. Like they're minded for everything. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They're squeezing out everything they possibly can out of all the characters.
Yeah,
and
they
everything.
have to.
Why do they have to?
Well, because otherwise they're having to come up
scale
with
to
completely unique designs all the time. That way they're able to get 4 times the amount of mileage out of one character design. Saves them a bit of time.
Yeah, but also this is obviously this is pushing COVID-19. This is obviously pushing the actual idea of the evolution of games. This is a pioneer. It's pushing games.
Zelda games
Yeah.
typically
Always
always
has
have.
been, yeah.
So they lead the way, in a way.
Yep.
So it's not a simulated game, is it?
No, not at all. It's an adventure fantasy.
And tell us about the wisdom. I mean, wisdom is hard to find. It takes a lot of time to get wisdom. But she just solves problems with her wisdom, or
She's the one dropping hints to you and trying to communicate with you.
There are a lot of
throughout the
weapons.
game
Yeah, look at
to
this.
help you on your journey to take back the land and give it back to the people.
Okay,
I think one of the reasons
that's
why...
a sword.
Yeah. One of the reasons why there's so many weapons is...
What would that be used for?
Well, they created... It's just a weapon in the Zoran domain.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They all
So
have
the
their
fish
own...
people design this weapon, and it'll have certain attributes where
The fish people are much like the
sea
elfish
breeze.
Yeah.
from Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
yeah,
you look
They're
at that.
this beautiful sort of race of people. Skilled craftsmen, all that sort of stuff.
And does it comment on anything that's actual? I mean, I know it's a fantasy, but has it got any sort of? Does it talk about nuclear stuff or the end of the world or climate change or anything like that?
Well, Calamity is... Ganon himself
end of the
represents
world.
the apocalypse,
Yeah.
He's trying to end everything. And this world...
But
this,
why does he? I mean,
He does it because it's his destiny
but
to
he'll,
do so.
but yeah,
Pretty
but
much.
but it'll die. I mean, he'll die too. But he doesn't care because it's his destiny. If he wants to bring the end of the world,
He wants to bring. He's programmed to bring pain and suffering onto Link and Zelda
Okay.
and their descendants for all of time.
this is some of this I see like as Kirby-ish, you know, Aztec stuff.
I think these are the suits.
Very steampunk Bioshock looking.
These are some of the suits you're given when you sort of save that particular race of people. They award you this suit, which is synonymous with that race.
Well, this is art. This is Aztec,
and it's going to help you in the next area that you go to. You know,
the paraglider. It looks pretty complicated.
Like, you know, you can buy certain earrings that'll make you resistant to fire damage. You know,
he has to wear earrings.
You can if you
want.
want.
I don't want to. Oh, so they've changed genders in it, or?
Well, yeah,
I think there is.
So you can get dressed as a girl to go to that area, or you can play the whole game just cooking.
That's your personal. That's your smartphone that you have to carry with you.
Is it? Well, that's
your device.
That's the eye from Egypt.
That's the Sheikah symbol.
Slate. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it operates like a smartphone device would for us today.
Does it? Where are the batteries? Does it have batteries?
Yeah.
Now this is a lot of things, isn't it? That's
it's even got a bit of Terminator about it, actually.
Yeah.
Because once these things go bad, they have a glowing red eye, much like the T-800 in the Terminator series.
And they are relentless.
Oh, they're interesting. I wish they were bigger.
War of the Worlds
No,
type.
they look really interesting drawings.
No, yeah, that must be early concept.
Yeah.
Because I can see Harryhausen in this.
Yeah.
And I can also see Return to Oz.
Yeah, a little bit of that with TikTok. And these are really cool characters because these are essentially stages.
Yeah.
But they're in the form of these giant characters. So once you make your way all the way up to the main part of this character, it becomes a stage in
dungeons,
itself.
Yeah.
And the entire stage shifts directions.
It's a big puzzle you got to work out.
Howl's Walking Castle. Oh.
See what I mean? You actually get to explore this creature as a stage.
Okay.
They're enormous.
Yeah. So, and how long would that take? Playing that part of the game?
Probably about an hour, if that. Zelda's famous for its dungeons, but unfortunately in this particular game, they only had these 4 main ones, and they're relatively short, and they're pretty easy to sort of work out.
I mean, to people who don't really know much about history and art, this game would be mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is.
Because they'd be seeing all these influences for the first time. If they don't know about Egyptian and... I mean, that's just a straight castle, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the main Hyrule castle, I think.
And are there mazes in it too? Lots of
there
mazes?
is.
Yeah, there's mazes, and there's 120 shrines where they're like a little dungeon underground, and you've got to work out the puzzle. Whether it be shooting the arrow to open that door, to open the valve to let the water flood the room so you can jump across, all sorts of stuff.
To do the whole game, roughly how long would it take you? I mean, I know that's a dumb question because it could take you...
That's right, it depends how you want to play it.
No.
But if you just want to finish the story...
Yeah.
40 hours,
Yeah,
30
you could probably
hours.
put it away in 40, 50 hours, but I was able to put the best part of a couple of 100 hours of this, and there was still more for me to do.
And then you've got speedrunners on Twitch and YouTube that'll beat the game in less than 30 minutes by
sort of
exploiting it.
Well,
Planet of the Apes, you know?
it sort of erupts when you find or complete a puzzle. These things literally come from the ground. They erupt from the ground.
Ah, okay. A fantasy world to come.
And this entire world, which is absolutely massive, it's not populated. You're not inhabiting this world at the height of its power. This world has been destroyed and it's sort of in pieces. So a lot of the time, there's not a lot of people around.
You're coming along and
It's already been a lot of these worlds and buildings are already collapsed or they're destroyed.
They have books. That's interesting.
Yeah, this is the library in the main castle.
That's good books.
And there's secret
Any
passages.
good books?
There's
Any good books?
there's
Can you
secret
pull out the
passages.
books? Can you pull? I know there's always secret packages.
Yeah,
but
you
I
can't
mean,
pull out the books.
Oh,
there's no reading the books.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Disappointed. Well, looks pretty impressive, and we're more than halfway through. And my God, this would have taken. There's a lot of artwork here. I can't believe. This is just for one game.
The size of the game that you explore, which you can do on foot, it's about 85 square kilometres to scale.
Wow. And So, what do you get out of the game? Is it just entertainment? Is it just
entertainment, adventure?
Adventure, okay. But do you get any skills?
That could be applied in the real world?
For instance, you talk about cooking. I've never seen you cook. So
it actually does get you a little interested because you want to experiment with different types of... You can actually cook bugs that you find.
Oh, yeah.
And depending on what region you collect these critters from will determine the abilities you can get from them.
Yeah.
So people will love watching the Lord of the Rings trilogies or reading those books because it fills them with joy and adventure. The game gives you that exact same sort of...
But you see, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit were written as because so many people got wiped out in the First World War, and everybody knew people who died, which was really unusual. So that's why that bloke wrote that book. Now, this is a combination of a lot of fantasies and stuff like this, but when you come out of it, does it teach you strategies like chess does?
The puzzle aspects of the game.
Yeah, those shrines that are scattered throughout the world they definitely flex your puzzle.
It's a combination of Petra and the American Pueblo Indians, isn't it? You know, who put their buildings they cut their houses into the side of the cliff. And Petra, remember in the end of the first...
the start of Star Wars?
Yeah, no, the end of, Holy Grail,
in the Last Crusade.
Yeah.
This is one of the first games that I've ever played where you actually get to buy a piece of real estate.
You have money. I haven't seen any money yet.
This is the town where you actually... Oh no, this is the town you help build, which is another awesome
feature.
You
end up building your own community.
Okay.
So where there wasn't once a town, you actually there is a living, breathing town after you build it, and you can revisit it after it's built.
So it is a bit like Sims.
It is a little bit.
There's a little bit of that to it.
Gyron City.
So that's the city and the big volcano on the map.
That like
the rock people,
like Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, these are very friendly.
But they're inside a volcano.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to wear a special suit just to walk around in
because it's so hot.
Yeah, you go up in flames.
Yeah.
And they give you a...
Well, how come they haven't made a film of Zelda?
Oh, they'll do some Netflix series or something one day.
It would be, to do it properly would just cost whoever decided to just millions and millions.
It costs a lot more than just to make a game.
Yeah, but I mean, the point is you don't have to build that anymore. It's just...
You can CG it.
Yeah.
It would be so hard to do
Obviously, what about the actual main character? Do you find out much about his personality, or he's just...
You are his personality.
So, okay.
So he's there for you to sort of project your own
Okay,
adventure
all right.
He's
so
quiet,
that'd be difficult. That'd be difficult to make a film out of that.
It would
because
be,
it's all about character. It's not character driven.
There's an
it's
animated
not character
series.
driven. It's adventure driven.
Yeah, that's right.
I think Rob was the one who explained to me that's why he's called Link. The character is called Link because it's simply a link between the player and the avatar.
Yeah.
There's a lot of manga on Zelda, a lot, and there's an animated series. A lot of fan stuff. Yeah.
Have you read these developers' notes? What do they talk about? They just talk about the background.
I haven't gone over those personally.
Yeah.
They'll just give you like more details on what they did and discovered while building certain parts, how they designed it.
Well, they've ransacked all these cultures and times in history
and thrown them together. Yeah.
And I haven't seen too much Greek stuff, or Roman stuff, but there's a notable locales, points of interest found throughout Hyrule. What's Hyrule?
That's the name of the land.
So this is how you encounter these ladies that upgrade your costumes.
Okay.
And when you first encounter them, they're like this, and you have to give her money for the petals to open up and for her to reveal herself.
Sort of sexual.
It is
a little bit, yeah.
They show a bit of cleavage, and they are very Disney.
Yeah, but that's pretty. Open up and
the flower.
Give me some money, and I'll open up. That sounds a bit dodgy.
She sticks her hand out and demands money.
Yeah, like that. It's pretty funny.
And these are one of the mazes you were asking about earlier.
Yeah,
They're
the
so
walls
cool.
are monstrous.
They're giant mazes.
So if you want to layer the maze, you have to crawl up these huge walls.
You've got to have some serious stamina to do that. You've got to upgrade your stamina and your health.
See, that's
all
just
the
a
time.
whale bone.
Yeah, there's a part of the game
That's
where you've
just a
got
whale.
to visit these Leviathan bones.
Yeah, well, they used to call that. That's what the first Leviathan was, whale.
They're spread out throughout the world.
Treasure chests.
One thing this game does, which not many games like it do, I'm not sure if you've encountered this before, Rob, but this game gives you the ability to literally climb and traverse over any surface you want.
Yeah.
You can climb up anything. There's a lot of games that won't allow you to go into certain parts. It blocks
Yep,
you off.
That's right.
But this game allows you to go anywhere you want. You can literally climb any surface.
So, has it got a Has it got an overall green subtext? Like, is it a green thing? Is it a is it about looking after the environment?
It is. I think the ability to be able to live with the wild in a way that doesn't hurt it, to sort of much like the Red Indians philosophy.
Okay. So,
and the Aboriginals, the Indigenous Australians.
so this is the 80 square mile thing you were talking
and when
about.
you first start the game, I think you start somewhere around here, and you've only got a very small section of the map
You can spend a
accessible.
long time exploring just that little area.
Yeah.
The game is huge.
I think it took me 3 or 4 hours to open up the entire map, just to access all the towers
Yeah,
that
it
open
takes
up.
So, what's all this about? The history of Hyrule? Like, do you need all this stuff?
So this explains
no, but
the events.
in the game.
Yep.
Does this come on screen?
Yes, it does.
Through characters that you
Yep.
meet.
Okay.
Exposition dialogue.
10,000 years ago. Well, this is.
And some of the cutscenes,
Yeah.
the backstory is in this visual style.
What is this? What am I looking at?
I think that's
The drawing out of the vision of Sheikah. So is that a maze or a map or what?
Yeah, this is the Sheikah clan. I think it's just telling the story of Ganon and the main.
Okay.
The main.
What are these? That's not a maze, is it?
No,
They're
I don't think
those
so.
sentries.
Those long-legged octopus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, James Bond, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
These guys are there every time you complete a shrine.
Yeah.
They gift you an orb, which increase your abilities.
About 100 years ago, preparing for calamity.
And I think they're talking there about what the town was like before we visited. So there's people everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, by the time we get there, the place is destroyed.
Because the hero lost in his fight against the calamity 100 years ago, and
So you're not going through a dangerous environment all the time where you have to keep an eye out and you get shot.
you definitely do. Yeah.
You do, okay.
You do.
Okay, all right.
But there are parts.
That's most games are like that, aren't they?
There's always danger in a lot of games, but this world's so big that you can find yourself in parts of the world where there's no enemies to fight. You just get to.
Well, I was going to say, because if you get killed in the first 5 minutes, you'll never
it puts you off a little bit. As a
you'll never
gamer,
do you'll never do your 80 hours, will you? You know. Okay.
Such a peaceful game to play.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Yeah, and the first you were talking about Miyamoto's movies.
Yeah.
That's the first thought that came to my mind. One of the first few times, because even the colour palette,
Yeah.
is very similar.
Yes. It's yes.
And that was definitely intentional.
One of the things I don't like about modern comics and films is they're too dark, physically too dark.
Yeah, they're browns, they're blacks,
Yeah.
they're greys.
Yeah. And
This is a visually beautiful game.
this
to
is
play.
not like that, obviously. Yeah.
And I think you were asking before about graphically, does it look like this in the game?
Yeah.
And although it's not an exact replica, it is just a visually beautiful game. And the game's not the most visual, it's not the most good, it's not the best looking game out there.
Yeah.
But I think the colours they use and the music, or the lack of music, even hearing the wind blow and watching the grass billowing in the wind,
Yeah. Well,
it's just extremely peaceful.
yeah. The breath of the wild. So this is the director. So who started Zelda? Do you know?
Someone Nintendo.
You're about to find out. I think it's
Yeah, but that's the director
of this
game.
iteration.
I'm just not going to really tell you. He's the
it's
art
not
director.
him.
They're all young characters.
He's coming along.
I love this.
Because I think one of the main guys behind this has since passed away.
Yeah.
And they actually, as a tribute to this man, I think it's this guy.
Well, he's producer.
It might be him. I can't quite recall. But they actually inserted.
The next Zelda has already begun.
Yeah.
The 5-year plans.
There's a spirit that you can meet on a mountain, which is the spirit of the man who was behind this.
Wow. That's quite a zone. It's an expensive buy. It's still in the bookshops. Why would a gamer buy this book?
Because
It helped you with the game?
if you invest that much time, like we're having into the game,
you'd have to,
wanting to revisit
you
this,
keep going.
Almost everyone that would have played that game, which is scores of millions, would appreciate that book.
Okay.
Zelda books.
Well, it's got to be the biggest.
that
they go
page
for a
there,
lot.
that spirit character, we just missed him, but he was a little. It's not that important, but he is the tribute to one of the main guys behind the character. He's this mythical character that you can actually ride, but he's a ghost.
Well, that's like the spirit in Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a huge cherry blossom tree on this beautiful mountain, and if you're really quiet and you sneak up closely enough, these spirit characters.
How do you get really quiet playing the game?
You actually have to creep up to it. You can't run up to it. You've got to be very quiet.
Okay, all right. Well, that's all interesting.
He never got to see the game, did he?
No,
the
I don't think so.
guy.
It's actually quite a beautiful tribute. I think I remember even myself getting quite emotional when you encounter this little character.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, I've
So much to talk about this.
thanks, boys, because I'm pretty biased towards games, but I mean I've really enjoyed this, and I like what you've told me, and this is good. I think it's
If you ever played a game, that would be the sort of game you could potentially enjoy.
what you know about me.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, because I just don't like all that adrenaline rush stuff.
And it's not a lot.
You know what I mean? Like
Definitely
just
has
bang,
that,
bang,
but that doesn't define this experience.
Yeah. I remember when Ninja Turtles came out on television. One of you, probably Robert, used to, as soon as the show finished, he'd rush out the street, look up and down the street, see if someone he wants to fight, and all that sort of rah-rah stuff. Okay, well, this is Jim Bridges and
Paul Bridges
And Rob Bridges.
all saying, I hope you like that book and that book bite, and check us out on Patreon. And subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't kick the camera, Jim.
Thanks for the sour persimmons, cousin.